Good morning. It's Monday. It must be time for Last Rites, the opportunity for you guys to still back a Kickstarter about to launch off of social media, Kickstarter's platform. We're going to get started right now and go through our list. The basic way we do this is that, simply put, we just do the list as what they are, and then we go into it after. So right now, if you're watching, you'll be able to see the list, and then right after that, what we'll wind up doing is we'll go over each one individually. It's a small list this week, so we should be able to get through it very quickly and actually spend a little extra time on the last rights for the Kickstarters than we normally get, because we only have a handful of Kickstarters actually ending this week. So let's begin. It's 10:30 on the East Coast. For those on the West Coast, I'm sure you'll be joining us later to check this list out. This is Last Rites. These are the Kickstarters that are about to end, and it's now or never for you fans and indie creators who want to back a fellow indie comic book creator. Nikolai Volkov, Life and Times of a Pro Wrestler, superstar fleeing his native Yugoslavia for America. Nikolai discovers pro wrestling for the first time, witnesses a superstar career begins. What was I said? We'll go back over these individually after the list is read off. A mysterious villain enters Soul City. Can Saturn and Orion find him before he strikes, or will Saturn's arrogance destroy everything? Find out in book 1 of Saturn and Orion. Are you one of us? That's what Written Sins is asking this year, because last year we asked all creators if you're one of us. Now we're asking everybody: cosplayers, creators, artists, even fans. Are you one of us? If you are, subscribe to our videos, subscribe to our fan page on Facebook, our group on Facebook, and of course, subscribe to the site directly by entering your email and never losing an update. The arrival of a mysterious new video game causes an outbreak of violence among the youth of a small town. It's Polybus Dreams, now about 10 on Kickstarter. And before we go over each one individually, let's talk about how every dollar counts. What does every dollar count mean? It means that $1 can change the narrative of not only a Kickstarter being funded, but it can also show people that you believe in the project. And by doing that, more people might get involved in the project. And that's something that is truly amazing, that you could actually bring someone's dreams and creations to life with just a single dollar. So remember that as we go through these individually and go through the last rights for each one now ending soon. Let's start off with Nikolai Volkov, which has already reached its goal. It has $4,403 on a goal of $4,000. I am very excited to say that I was actually able to be the one who brought it to the finish line and make it go over its goal. Very exciting moment for me. Very happy about the fact that I was able to push it over that moment where it's now officially funded. For those who don't know, Nikolai Volkov was a wrestler in the 80s. Now, why this is so important as opposed to what most people would normally consider a pro wrestler and a heel and a face at that time, which is heel was always the bad guy and the face was always a good guy. Back in the 80s, there wasn't much change sometimes with some of these characters. Like if you were a heel, you stayed a heel. And Nikolai pretty much stayed a heel most of his career. And he did a great job. Now, remember, this is the 1980s. Nikolai Volkov was playing someone from communist Russia. He was endorsing the fact that communism was better. He was stroking the fans, making them very mad, keeping the fires burning. So it was done fantastically by them. I really got to give him credit for how he did it. I never knew as a kid growing up, because my family came from the Ukraine, which at the point was controlled by the USSR. So with that in mind, there was a lot of turmoil in my house about what was going on in the native homeland because of what was going on. Because my mother was from actually the Ukraine, and I'm first generation on that side. While my father was not an immigrant, my mother was. So keep that in mind. So that was just one of those things that we did it. And what we're going to do now is we're going to watch the video.
Thank you all my fans, all the people that support me. First kickbook started, now we're ready for the second one. And believe me, first one was good, the second one should be better.
Nikolai Volkov is a WWE Hall of Famer, a WrestleMania Tag Team Champion, and a living legend of the Squared Circle. But behind the public legacy, he is so much more. An immigrant to America with a dream of success made real, Nikolai was a hard-working grinder who rose to the highest level of sports entertainment by sheer force of will. Now witness the events that shaped Nikolai's remarkable life in the biographical comic series based on interviews conducted by writer John Crowther with the legend himself. This Kickstarter campaign will fund production, printing, and distribution of the second issue of the series. But if you missed the previous campaign, don't worry. Issue 1 is also available as part of this campaign as well. The entire series is expertly illustrated by comics and animation legend Del Barris, with colors by Andrew Pate. We again offer a slew of awesome rewards to choose from, including digital and print editions of the comic, with the latter offering multiple cover versions, including some exclusive to the crowdfunding campaign. Nikolai is also offering 11x17 signed art prints, photos, trading cards, action figures, and DVDs, plus exclusive signature editions of the comic. There are even extremely limited original art commissions from Del Barris and opportunities to talk directly with Nikolai via Skype sessions after the campaign ends. Don't miss out. Back early to ensure you get the rewards you want.
So check out that amazing Kickstarter today. Definitely something that we would have been covering ourselves as a Kickstarter of the week. But because it got funded, we try to avoid actually doing those and saving the spot for Kickstarters. It might need a little extra attention, but this week, luckily, we didn't have to choose. We could definitely put in some extra time on this. We're very excited about being able to help publicize this. Here's a message about them getting funded from Nikolai.
I want to thank all my friends, all my wrestling fans, for helping and supporting my Kickstarters. God bless you all. Do svidaniya.
How awesome is that? Straight from him, a message about it. So that's it. I mean, you got 35 hours. Just because it's funded, like I always say, doesn't mean you don't back it. Doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve to be backed. It just means that you get on it and you make sure that you're part of it. So we're going to move on to our next Kickstarter on the list, Saturn and Orion. Saturn and Orion has also funded. I had read this book in preview. It wasn't bad at all. As a matter of fact, I'd call it very good. It's an interesting story. It's an interesting take. There are definitely some plants that you'll see while reading the story that'll make it interesting and make you want to know the story's future by coming back. So I found that to be very interesting. We are currently, let's see how much time we have left. We currently have 3 days still to back this project. And again, just because something is funded doesn't mean you don't suddenly back it. They have 78 backers, 3 days to go, and they're over the limit. But remember, this backer number could look a lot better. You generally want to see about 100 backers on a Kickstarter just to help you be able to later promote the book to publishers and all that. So remember that $1 we were talking about earlier in this episode? That's where that $1 comes in, and we want to be able to share that success for a creator by helping them get there, and then that becomes a shared success as an indie comic book fan for those who are watching it. You can actually support indie comic book creators by simply sharing on social media as well. And that share will cost you nothing. Sharing is beyond caring. Sharing can help fund and fuel the future of projects. So keep that in mind. Always be part of the conversation when it comes to promoting indie comics. Sorry, I'm just answering someone's question in one of the chat rooms. That's why I sound a little distracted at the moment. It had nothing to do with necessarily what we're talking about, but someone trying to get their Kickstarter added, which is always good. So if you guys ever want a Kickstarter added to the list, just find me, Rob Anderson, on Facebook. Happy to help out in any way I can. You guys are, you're the inspiration behind these lists, because you guys do a fantastic job of helping us get things funded when we need to, when we have a call to action. So I do appreciate those of you watching who are always sharing things. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it really does matter. And it does help know that we're doing the right thing. But with that said, back to Saturn and Orion. This is book one. It's going to be an ongoing series. We're just going to take a quick minute, and we're not going to go through the whole video this time, but we're going to give them a quick little preview of the video, and we're going to skip right ahead.
We're now doing a Kickstarter for Saturn and Orion. It's our first. We've published over 40 books, coloring books, comic books, graphic novels, puzzles. Kickstarter. We're very excited.
Now, to find the rest of that video and to see the rest of his conversation, visit Saturn and Orion. And remember, I've said this many times, for those who see it's gotten funded and you don't necessarily want to have shipping, or you don't want to have this, you don't want to have that, because shipping becomes a problem. If you do a PDF, here's a little hint, and I learned this doing Kickstarter myself, and it's an obvious thing too. But when I was doing these with Kickstarter people and the creators and the publishers running it, it became very clear as I was doing this Kickstarter thing that PDFs are actually one of the most profitable parts of this entire project. I remember coming down to the fact that with a Kickstarter I helped my wife with, Fetish Babies 1, the co-created comic book between us. We didn't want to do a PDF at first, and everyone was like, that's ridiculous. There's a bunch of profit in it. And they're absolutely right. Think of it this way. You have to make a PDF once for a printer. So once you've made that for the printer, you now can just easily share that with anyone else. And I know a lot of people have made the argument that PDFs are easily shared and they might be giving to people and you might not be getting your money. Let's be realistic on the first run of comic books creators. A lot of times you want more people to read it. You want it to get out there. Remember, there are billions of people on this planet. If a few thousand get it for free and start talking about it and you believe in your product, it's only going to help you. So I definitely suggest a PDF. And if you want, get the PDF for this. It is a book worth reading. Definitely something I enjoyed. Moving on to our last Kickstarter for Last Rights this week, we have Polybus Dreams. It is the arrival of a mysterious new video game causes an outbreak of violence among the youth of a small town. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again. I'm a little concerned that we're talking about video games being a bad thing and causing violence. Sounds like something Congress would say. Kidding around aside, though, this does look like an interesting book. It's got that 1980s feel to it. So Stranger, what's that Netflix show? Wow, I'm drawing a blank. I never watched it. Stranger Things. This has that kind of feel to it. It's definitely got that 1980s vibe to it. It's like Big meets Stranger Things. So this is definitely a book for you if you have that. So the opportunity still is going to be around for a bit on this one. This one's got a little bit more long legs. It's got 5 days left. Won't be ending unactually funded. As you can see, every one of these on this list this week have all reached their goal. None of them are in danger of missing that goal. There are some that didn't make the list necessarily this week that are close to ending but weren't necessarily there yet. And we figure we have enough time. We might run a special Last Rights on Sunday to make up for the time difference. But next week we'll be focusing on Crossfire, Liar, and Trespass, And then we might, like I said, we might do a special Sunday one to be able to split it and give each one a little more time. Maybe do 2 in 1 week, because I don't like condensing too many of these. I like having the ability to take some time and share this with you guys. We have a bunch of videos hopefully coming out this week. I know we're behind on April. I know a couple of people are asking if we're doing the April wrap-up video. We are, in fact, going to be doing the April wrap-up video. That is coming this week. These are the Kickstarters this week to back before they're gone. We do have the regular Tuesday edition of Kickstarter Talk coming with hopefully brand new Kickstarters. We're going to put that online right now, asking people if they have a new Kickstarter. That is it for me. Tons of great Kickstarters available. If you check our site, check out Kickstarter Talk. One thing I do want to say is that we're going to go straight to our site. This list is organic in the way that it has changes made to it. So let's say today you share this on your page, right? 1 week from now, when someone goes to look at it, the changes made to this thread will show, because what happens is that the list is not actually on our site. So what we do here, we'll go to Kickstarter, and you saw the list today. So we're going to go to Kickstarter, and we'll go to videos, and we'll do last rights. Apparently I need to add that. Okay, we'll go to Kickstarter here, and we'll add last rights. Put that on the list of things to do. So you see the last rights here, week 19. So now if we go to week 18, there's a lot of Kickstarters, as you guys can see. Here it is, last rights, week 18. Now when we go to this was done a week ago. You see the video from week 18, but then you'll notice that the actual list has changed, and this is the exact list we just went over. This is done through the magic of the fact that we host the list off-site with Opinion Stage, which we appreciate them teaming up with us and giving us a huge discount and being able to use that to help create awesome content for you guys on Written Sins. This list now will morph constantly. So if you guys want this list just for your page, and you want the direct link to it, I can absolutely get that for you. It's not a big deal to me. The most important thing isn't site hits or views or anything like that. It's just getting the information out there. So if you want this directly, let me know. If you want a video about this week, let me know. If you had one of your Kickstarters featured in a video and you just want to share the video and you don't want to share the links, you want people to instantly watch it on their Facebook or social media platforms, so they don't have to worry about clicking. So I know YouTube videos especially, you can get them to click and then it's done. Let me know. I will take care of it. We're out, Facebook. We'll talk to you later. YouTube, we're still live. As that still, just 1 second, because it's going to start making sounds if I don't do that. Okay. As we're still live on YouTube, just wanted to tell you guys that are subscribing. It is appreciated. We are working on the ability for you guys to ask us questions, all that good stuff, so you can interact with us. If you have any suggestions, feel free to drop us a line. Reach out to me on social media at Rob Anderson. I'm going to put the link to this in the group chat, which we've just begun starting. Tell your friends to subscribe as well. Never miss a video. We're always covering indie comics, like few people do cover indie comics, because we're covering it not just as someone who wants to sell their comic books, not as someone who runs a site, but we run this like we would run it because of the need for indie comics to have a platform. So we treat it with the respect it deserves. We also put a lot of energy and effort into that fact. I run it like I want the help to be there for. If I run a Kickstarter, I treat every Kickstarter as important as if it's my own. With that said, we're always excited to help any creators that we can. We have gotten a little busier in the last couple of months. Obviously, we've gotten a lot of requests for reviews. There's a bit of a backlog on the reviews. They are coming out slowly, and unfortunately, not all the reviews I do wind up showing up on the site because of the fact that I won't talk negatively about a book publicly. I will tell a creator my honest opinion, and sometimes they don't want that, or I don't feel it's right to even say that. And I feel that there are fundamental issues with the book. So when you see a review done, I think the review is commercial grade, meaning it is worth money. If there are too many issues with it and it's not worth money, I will tell the creator that right off, and I'll be like, I don't feel comfortable having my name associated with this. So you guys know that we do have a quality control in place. We don't put Kickstarters that don't put effort in. We've been asked to cover Kickstarters and flat out said no because they did not put the effort we thought was required. And we were also worried about scams. In the past, Written Sins has unfortunately been not involved, but shared something that later became something that sounded like it could have been a scam. It was never verified or not, but that's something we now look for. We want to make sure that we're never sharing anything with you guys that might be off. So we take the time to reach out to most creators. We don't cover any Kickstarters without being asked to for that particular reason. So we want to have the ability to talk to creators, and we want to know that the creators are involved and they want to be part of this. We don't want to just be backing something blindly or promoting something blindly. We're always here. If we miss an email, if we haven't gotten back to you right away, please just send us another email. Sometimes it's an inbox thing. Sometimes it's just too many emails at once, and our best intentions fall to the wayside as something else happens. Sometimes quickly a lot of emails come in for a lot of requests. We're just human. We're not the biggest staff in the world. There's only about 4 of us who directly work with the site on a daily basis. That's me, WS, my wife, and my sister. So with that said, I'm signing off YouTube. Make sure to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe, and always check out Written Sins daily for new content. That's writtensins.com. Find the home of the creators.